Bread. A simple gesture. Everyday. Almost trivial. And yet, behind that golden crust and that warm bakery smell, there is a surprising truth. In France, many things that belong to daily life are not controversial at all. No one thinks about them. No one debates them. No one is shocked. They are habits so deeply rooted they feel as natural as breathing. But cross the Atlantic. Set foot in the United States. And those same habits suddenly become suspicious, risky, even illegal. They are no longer family traditions. They become potential offenses. Not culture anymore, but rules, restrictions, legal responsibility. France and America, two countries that have looked at each other for centuries, inspired each other, shared revolutions, art, philosophy, food. Two nations that both call themselves lands of freedom. Yet they built two completely different ideas of what freedom really means. France has an almost sensual relationship with everyday life. Food, wine, the body, the street, the square. Everything is part of a shared ritual rooted in centuries of history. For the French, freedom means living fully, enjoying, tasting, experiencing, raising children in a real world, not a sterilized one. America built its identity on another kind of freedom, individual freedom, protected by law, focused on the right not to be harmed, not to be exposed, not to be put at risk, a freedom that often becomes rules, warnings, restrictions, protocols. So what is an act of love in France can become a case for social services in the United States. What is a normal Tuesday in Paris can become a public issue in New York. Imagine a French family at the table. A 10-year-old child is given a small amount of diluted wine, not to get drunk, but to learn. To understand that wine is not taboo, not dangerous, not forbidden. It is part of culture, like bread, like cheese, like conversation. It teaches moderation, respect, sharing. In the United States, the same scene could lead to a report. In many states, giving alcohol to a minor, even your own child, even at home, is a crime. The law does not separate abuse from tradition. Even a symbolic sip is forbidden. And then there is cheese. France built an entire world around raw milk. Over 1,000 varieties. Many exist only because of that living, complex flavor. Impossible to recreate with pasteurized milk. For the French, removing raw milk means removing the soul of cheese. Like removing color from a painting. In the United States, raw milk cheeses aged less than 60 days are banned. And in airports, it is not unusual to see agents confiscate whole camemberts brought as souvenirs. Almost a comic scene. A tourist defending cheese like a national treasure. An agent treating it like a dangerous item. Then wine in parks. In France, a picnic with a bottle of rosé feels poetic. Families on the grass. Children playing. Adults talking. No one hides. No one is shocked. It feels natural. Obvious. In the United States, public drinking laws often make that illegal. A moment of sharing becomes a violation. An open bottle can turn a picnic into a legal problem. And the food itself. Steak tartare, raw and loved in France, is almost impossible to serve legally in many American restaurants. Foie gras, a French treasure, has been banned in California and challenged in other cities. French beaches have allowed topless sunbathing since the 1960s. In the US, it can lead to fines or arrest. French nudist beaches are recognized communities. In the US, public nudity is almost always illegal. Even children's independence is seen differently. In France, it is normal to see 7 or 8-year-olds go to school alone. Take the metro. Move through the city. It is seen as a way to grow capable and responsible individuals. In the United States, parents allowing the same may be reported. Accused of neglect. Home distillation, a long tradition in parts of France, is a federal crime in the US. And while a glass of wine during a business lunch is still normal in France, in the United States it can cost you your job or bring legal consequences. Even food risk is treated differently. In France, raw oysters are a holiday classic, served without warnings. In the United States, restaurants must display legal notices about health risks. And then freedom of speech. France does not protect religion from satire. Blasphemy is not a crime. But there are laws against insulting the president. The United States allows open criticism of the president, yet heavily regulates many everyday behaviors that are normal in France. Put it all together and a surprising picture appears. Not one free country and one that is not, but two cultures that drew the boundaries of freedom in completely different places. France says, trust people, with food, with children, with wine, with the body. Limit what threatens the state. America says, protect people, from risk, from food, from alcohol, from children's autonomy, but let them speak freely about power. Neither approach is purely logical. Both have deep historical roots. French culture grew from centuries of refined pleasures, where food, wine, and the body were never sources of shame, but of civilization. American culture grew from a different idea of freedom, focused on individual rights and protection from risk. What feels like freedom to a French person may feel like carelessness to an American. What feels like protection to an American may feel like restriction to a French person. And so, 13 completely normal moments of French daily life could, in the wrong US zip code, end with flashing lights and sirens. Not because France wants to provoke, or America wants to limit, but because they built two different ideas of the good life and defended them for over 250 years. The result is simple. A glass of wine during a Tuesday lunch in Paris can be, depending on which side of the Atlantic you are on, either completely normal or almost revolutionary. Which country are you watching from? Write it in the comments.